Hello everybody, so we're back in OpenTTD again. We're going to continue with the game that we started, I don't know when, so many weeks ago. But after that hiatus, we're back into it now. So I'm all ready, and I'm going to load up the game where we left it. So according to this, 4th of January 1929 was when we left off. So let's jump back in again. So here we are. So we had made some successes. So we started with a little track that was taking some livestock and grain from a farm down here in Spilsby down to the Holbeach factory to keep the factory ticking over, make sure it didn't disappear on us. And then we made a route here for some trucks to bring iron ore from these two iron ore mines down to the steel mill, and then take the subsequent steel down this track that we built all the way down to the factory. And those trains, I don't know how many have dropped off. This one certainly has, and they're making some reasonable money. So look, it says here last year it made 30,000, 31,000. So that's not too bad. Well, so far we're doing okay. Let's just have a little check at these. So yeah, that's the first train. That's the only train that's dropped off. All the other, we have 3 more trains. They're fully loaded with steel, ready to land at the factory. So they're all going to bring in around 31,000 each, I'd say. So quick maths, 3, 6, 9, 12, so 120,000 they're going to bring in, which may or may not be any good. Because if you've seen my other video, and if you haven't seen my other video, then I'll put a link to it here so you can go and check. I was doing some recceing for the second episode. So this is episode number 2, and I was getting a bit worried. I was thinking, well, okay, so I've got my first episode down, I've released it to the world, and now I need to perform. I need to keep performing, because if this goes down the pan, then I'm going to have egg on my face. So I wanted to know what would be the best next steps to take. And I thought, well, how do I do that? Well, there's a few things. There's how much, well, am I going to make a profitable company was my major concern. My secondary concern is bringing in lots of goods into this factory. Further to that, the additional challenge of, so having the money will help me to develop the Highlands challenge, because building through all of this excellent land up here to connect to these towns and cities and industries in Scotland is going to cost a fair amount of money, tunneling through these hills, building over these hills, all of that good stuff. So money is a concern in that regard, and the challenge of growing Exeter, I'm still not sure how to go about that yet, so I think I'm just going to leave that for a little bit longer. Passengers aren't my forte, so I need to do some boning up on how all that works. And obviously there's the New Ireland challenge, which is somewhere out here. Here we go, New Ireland challenge, which is going to cost a lot of money. So ultimately, we need to make money. We need to do that. And I was thinking, okay, so I've started this network here. So I've got a position here where I'm near a steel mill. The steel mill's not too far from the factory. So in terms of bringing in lots of steel and making lots of goods from the factory from that steel, that's going to help to improve the number of goods being pumped out of this factory, which is the challenge here. It's to make the most number of goods that you can. So the profit on that side is secondary. So maybe this line isn't necessarily long enough, but it's a fairly long length to give us some reasonable profits from the trains that we're going to be transporting the steel from this steel mill down to the factory down here. So I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, we could bring in the steel from further afield. The longer distance that the commodities travel, the more money that you make, obviously. But with a caveat, because obviously at the moment it's 1929, and the trains that we have, well, we have access to one engine at the moment, which is the Kirby, and it's not a very powerful engine. It's not a very fast engine, and I'm sure that there are faster, more powerful engines to come, but for now we're limited by that. And the reason that I mentioned that is because I was thinking, okay, well, this is great. We've got a position here for a steel mill, bringing in the steel to the factory. That's all good. But at the moment in this area, we have access to two mines. One iron ore mine very close, and the other iron ore mine even closer. Just these two. If I bring up the map of the world and we turn off the town names, turn on the industries, disable all but iron ore mines. So we have our two iron ore mines in the vicinity of our steel mill and nothing else. I mean, in that viewport, there is only those two flashing away as far as I can see. If I zoom out further, then we start to see in the northwest there are more iron ore mines, and there's quite a good concentration of them, and there's some in North Wales, some in South Wales, from what we can see here. If I bring us all the way out to the whole of the UK, try and capture as much of Scotland as I can, then we see that down in Cornwall there's a good concentration of iron ore mines. There's a couple in Devon, and South Wales, North Wales, North West England is basically all we're looking at, and these two which are in Yorkshire. If indeed this is still Yorkshire. That's, it's not a good concentration. It's not a very full concentration of iron ore mines around the area that we want them from. So I was thinking, okay, well, what if I go to these iron ore mines that are in the northwest? Okay, we could build a fairly direct route, I reckon. I'll close this down. Okay, so from here, this kind of area around where Carnforth would be, just north of Bolton Sands. So if we were to build a track that went through the Pennines, past Skipton, past Ilkley, perhaps, just taking a route that looks fairly flattish, and bring that from there down into here where we have our steel mill, that would be not a bad route, I don't think, for bringing in iron ore. So we have these iron ore mines here, a good concentration of them. We've got a couple over across Morecambe Bay, in the South Lakes, and we've got a couple peppered around here as well, which we could possibly bring in by truck or maybe by rail. And if we routed all of it together, transferred it to here, had one big station which can transport iron ore from here to there, we could make some good steel. But the issue with that is that our train at the moment is not very powerful. So I wanted to know, okay, well, if I have a very long train carrying a lot of iron ore, how regularly can I make a service that will do that? How profitable is it going to be? There's lots of factors that go into it. And my ultimate realization was that it wasn't going to work. The train just isn't suitable for that task. The engine that we have isn't suitable for that task. So I had to scrap my thoughts, really, which was, I just have to put that on ice for the moment, I think. We will reach out to this area to bring stuff in, but not at the moment. We're going to wait until we get more powerful, faster trains that are able to traverse that distance in a better time frame, just to make things work more efficiently, so that we can make better profits and not have to have too much expenditure at this stage. So from there, I needed to know, okay, well, what am I going to do? So there aren't a lot of options open to me, and I've been trying to think about quite a few things. I'm happy with the setup that we have here, And we're bringing steel, obviously, to the factory. Now, the next step that I think would be a good step to take is to take some of the goods out of this factory and sell those. Because why not? You know, we need to make money. We've got a commodity that we are producing, so we're in control of that commodity. So we can directly influence how many goods that we're making. You know, it says here 180 goods per month. Now that was from one train, and it doesn't look like we're going to get many trains coming down this track regularly, but we will have a fairly steady supply of steel going to the factory. Now with that steel we can make more goods. With those goods we can transport them out and we can make some more money. So where do we go? That's the question. Now I've done some recceing and we have some options. We have, because as far as I can tell, now there might be a way to find this out, but I don't know what it is. So on the map of the world, so you can have your industry view and you can see, okay, here's the iron ore mines, power stations, coal mines, all this good stuff. But in terms of towns and cities that may or may not accept goods, it doesn't tell you this information. So I had to do a little bit of this by hand. And I found within the vicinity of the factory, I've not done an exhaustive scan. I've not tested every one of these towns, but I did check a few. And I found 3 possibilities. So Boston here, which is quite close to Hull Beach Factory, will accept goods. Let's just, if I bring up the station selector, then as you move the cursor over the towns in the area, it will tell you what it accepts. So here, Boston is accepting goods. There was Boston. There was also down further south a little bit, Bury St Edmunds. That accepts goods, and that's a reasonable distance away from the factory. And we also have Scunthorpe up here, where we've already got some suppliers and services in action. They also accept goods. So I think that in terms of the next phase of our development should be to transport some goods away from the factory and make some money from those. And I've been doing some, well, I've run the numbers basically. So as I mentioned before, I did a second video and I talked about a tool that I made because I wanted to know how much profit trains could make and how much profit trains would make, just to make sure that when I'm putting my feelers out in terms of how to expand the company, how much money is each service going to make. Just looking at it from like a real world perspective. If I was running a transport company, I wouldn't just say, okay, yeah, sure, I'm going to bring steel from Scunthorpe to Hull Beach because I want to. You would say, okay, well, what's the bottom line? You know, how much is it going to cost to produce these trains? How much is it going to cost to run those trains? And how much profit, well, how much income are we going to get off those trains for every journey that they make, so that we can say, okay, well, we're going to make this much profit, which is going to pay for X, Y, and Z. You need to have that information to make that choice, and the game doesn't, as far as I know, aside from the chart of which one is it? Cargo payment rates. Here we go. Okay, so this chart, which I referenced in the previous video, which conflates so many things, delivering 10 units of cargo, a distance of 20 squares, for a number of days in transit, and it tells you how much you make for each 10 units, I guess. Each 10 units per distance, 20 squares, because that's how it works. Everything's interlaced within the game. You can't say, okay, well, delivering 100 tons of coal is going to bring you this much money. It doesn't work like that. You have to transport that coal across the world before you actually make any profit off it, which seems a little bit, I don't know what the word is, naughty maybe? I'm not sure. So yeah, I mean, it's not very helpful. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so we have the option of transporting goods from Hull Beach to Boston, or to Bury St Edmunds, or to Scunthorpe. And I ran the numbers through, and we're going to Scunthorpe. that seems to be the at this time, it's the best choice. I mean, logically, it's the best choice because we're already going to have some infrastructure in place that's going to be able to transport the goods out to Scunthorpe. In terms of going to Boston, it's profitable, but it's more profitable perhaps going to Scunthorpe. Let me just double check the figures on that one. Yes, definitely. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Sorry, I've got a spreadsheet open here now. I've run the numbers through, and I'm happy with those. That they're giving me the right indication as to which route to explore, which route to take. So if we went to Bury St Edmunds, we could realise a profit. Taking into account everything, so the running cost of the trains, the purchase cost of the trains, and if we amortize the purchase cost of the train over the lifetime of the train, then we could realise a profit in the region of £150,000 a year, conservatively, I would say. The figure that I get is 170,000. With inflation, it's going to go up anyway, but in terms of the costs and everything else, they all counteract and diminish that anyway. So I'd say £150,000 a year at this stage, if we had a full-on service going from Holbeach to Bury St Edmunds, which is down here somewhere, here in the middle of a farm and around all of this water. So routing it around is going to be fun if that was the way that we took, but you know, I don't really fancy it. So the other option is go to Boston. Boston is just that little bit too close, because if we did a route to Boston, we'd be looking at, say, in the region of 50 to 60,000, I'd say. The profit that I'm looking at is actually 74,000, but it's probably going to be less than that anyway from the numbers that I've got. So it's a reasonable choice, and it's possibly not a bad choice in terms of, you know, being able to send it down, scoot it back, send it down, scoot it back. It's quite close by, so in terms of the number of trains and stuff like that, might be less. I do have the numbers on that, so I could tell you definitively what we're kind of looking at. But in terms of trains that we're going to be sending out, that's reliant on how many goods that we're producing here. So I mean, it has function. There are two functions. One is how much goods are we producing. The other one is how long is the track. The length of the track determines how many trains we can send down it. The number of goods that we're producing determines how many trains we can actually send out. So those two combined with their return journey times, you know, that will determine how many trains we can actually have. So I don't actually have the numbers of how many trains that we could have on the track, but it's going to be somewhere in the order of, for this route, at least 8, possibly 16. I'm not sure how the maths works out on that one. We're looking at a journey time from here to there of 40 days, but the loading time, which is the same probably for every train, the loading time is dependent on the length of the train. So if we had a length 3 train going from here to there, that would be the most profitable one, and it would take 45 days to load and 40 days to transfer and 40 days to come back, basically, not including servicing at depots, which we're going to get to. So Boston is a possibility, but I don't know really. It's a possibility, but Scunthorpe's just going to bring in that much more money. So if we transport it up to Scunthorpe, that might be a little bit more profitable for us because it's just that little bit further away. But then there's a toss-up. So in terms of the transport from here to there, we're looking at train length of 3 as being the most profitable. So that's going to bring in somewhere in the order of, I reckon, £150,000 a year profit, including the purchase cost of the trains. Now, the purchase cost of the trains, to be able to do that, is going to be £100,000 at least. But if we do that over the lifetime of the train, then that's sort of 6,400 a year for all of those trains, because they're going to last for 15 years. So we spend that money up front, but then we make it back, but we pay it off over the time, in our accounts, and it doesn't work out necessarily so bad. And that's true for every line that we make. The number of trains that you buy. If you say, okay, well, each train is going to last 15 years. If it lasts 15 years, because I get itchy feet when I play this game, and I'm like, yeah, I want the new train. I want to play with new toys. Let's sell these and replace them now. So we might not get the full life out of it. We might have to review that later in the game. Yeah. So those trains, as I said, we're going to make. I hope I didn't say 150,000, because I was looking at the wrong column there, because I meant to say 65,000. I should put a big line through this. The 150,000 is the various entailments option, which we're not going to explore because it's, in my view, it's just that little bit too far to go. Well, no. It's not this little bit too far to go. We've already got this infrastructure in place. Let's make some use of it. And at the same time, we're going to be expanding it anyway. We're going to take what we've got as the basis, make it more. What's the word? It's going to be able to cope with the better load, because at the moment it's a single track, which is dealing with two-way traffic, and it's not going to hold up to many trains running along it. So we want to take what we've got and make it better. At least that's the plan. So the journey to Boston is out. Let's just draw a line under it, because if we go to Scunthorpe, we can with now. Here again is a bit of a way up between two things, because the numbers are so close. So we're looking at, the actual figure that I've got is 160,000, but it's not going to make that much at all, because that doesn't take into account the depots. It takes into account best case loading and best case supply of product, and we're just not going to hit that. So conservatively, I might say 130,000, something like that. But the difference, so this is where there's a toss-up, because the difference between the 2-length trains and the 3-length trains is, in terms of the raw figures, the 2-length is 158,000, the 3-length is 154,000. So the difference between them is negligible. You take a step up. So let me just for this example. So from Holbeach to Scunthorpe, okay. If we're looking at train length alone, the train length of 1 is 120,000 raw. Train length of 2 is 158, 159. Train length of 3 is 154. Train length of 4 is 106. Train length of 5, which is what my default setting would be, is 70. And that's being generous. It's 68,000. Train length of 6, 45,000. Okay, so our best profit was on the train length of 2, but the second best profit was train length of 3. And either side of that, we are looking at a fairly big drop off. Let me just give you percentage terms so that we're all on the same page. So our length 2 train, if that's our 100% profit, our length 3 train is 97% profit. So that's very, very close. And I say that because train length 1 is 76% profit, train length 3 is 67% profit, train length 5 is 43% profit, train length 6 is 28% profit, and it's going to go down from there. So our train lengths 2 and 3 are the best bets. Given the 3% difference between train lengths 2 and train lengths 3, but also coupled with that the gross difference in terms of purchase cost of £60,000, I think I might stick with the train length of 3 for the service that we will put in between Holbeach and Scunthorpe. That all said, We also have, so we have this line that we put in, okay, taking train length 5 trains, taking steel from the steel mill down to the factory. And as it stands, we should be running trains that are length 3 from the steel mill down to the factory and back again. That's just what the figures tell me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the train length 5s. Okay, so they're already in progress. So some are on the way. There's one who's made his drop off, which we did at the end of the last episode. He's on his way back. So we'll cut them down to size, and we will make this train line, capable of sustaining shorter trains, and we're going to do it bidirectionally because of everything that I've just said. So we're going to have trains coming out of the steel mill into the factory. We're going to have trains coming out of the factory into an area around here. We may as well use this line, or lines as we're going to have, to transport those trains. I was very, very cautious in the last episode. I'm going to be a little bit more gung-ho this time and see how we get on. So here we go. Right, so we have this one single track going from Hull Beach all the way up to Scunthorpe. We're going to double it up. We're going to bring a line that's going to come out of here, run alongside this track. Let's just put it in place, okay? So that you can see what I have been looking at. So we bring this out here, pull this out here. I'm confident that we're not going to lose money. So I am going to make choices that last time out I was a little bit reticent to do so because I was concerned that I may or may not make money. But I am confident now that I already have a system which is making good profit. I just don't think it's maximising its profit. So we come over here, and we have this line that comes over here. Now, I have inspected this line and I found this forest here. So we're putting it up right against this forest. So we want to have an extra line here. This wasn't necessarily the best place to build it. So we're going to have to build our extra line along this side and reroute these depots accordingly. But that's okay. And then again here, we were right next to Coates and Lindsay, so our train line here is going to have to run along this way. So let's just pop that out there. So bring that down here. Oops, we don't have that money. So I'm going to keep this on pause. We've got £100,000 that we can borrow. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get this done with our loan before we have to unpause the game and start to make some money from our trains. So let's build this down here. Right, let's hope. Okay, there's no vehicles in that depot. So let's get rid of that depot. Let's get rid of this track. And let's rebuild this depot here. That will do. Do I want to be facing that way, or do I want to be able to see the trains? Let's be able to see the trains, okay. Let's do that. Okay, cool. I'm sticking with forced depots. Ooh, I forgot. Right, let's just delete that for now. Let's leave that as well for now. I've also done some experimentation with the servicing of the trains. And last episode I said that I wanted these depots to be 30 spaces apart, which is what they are, 30 spaces apart. And the experimentation that I did showed that for a train length of 3, which is the train length that we've settled upon, or I've settled upon in terms of what I want to do right now with the game, they need to be serviced every 50 tiles. It's nearer to 60, but I want to be cautious, so I'm not going to push it. And I'm going to say that instead of servicing every 30 tiles, which is what would be required for train length of 5, again, that would probably be more like 40 tiles, but again, I was being conservative. And in fact, last time, I was just gut feel, this is how many tiles that we have to travel across. I've actually done some experimentation and some tests, and I'm going to bring out a video to show how I did that. So these depots are a little bit too close together now for the trains that we're going to be transporting, that are going to be traveling along these tracks. We can stretch the servicing out to 50 tiles. And again, as we develop the game, as we develop the network, as time passes and we start to use newer trains with different capabilities, we're going to have to re-engineer our lines to match. We're not just going to put something down and forget about it. We're not just going to put something down and reuse it. We're going to have to make adjustments and tweaks and changes to make sure that our networks are performing to the best of their abilities, and to the best of our abilities, to the best of the train's abilities, if we're still talking about trains. So I only want to have depots spaced every 50 spaces or so. We have our station around here. If I pull this out we're looking at 45 spaces, 45 tiles to travel from here to there. So that's kind of near 50. Here, should I route it around this end, or do we need to do something different around here? So as the trains are going to be traveling in, again as well, so we might be better off, instead of having a terminus station, having a row station, so that we can get our trains on, in, loaded and out. And if it came to it, we could have trains waiting in the wings, ready to go in, load and roll out again. I don't think it necessarily matters very much. I don't think we're going to have, at this stage, we're not going to have that many trains needing to come in and come out. So I don't know whether it's that important to have a roll-on, roll-off station. But my gut is telling me that we should, so I think we will. So if I were to build, say, to allow for multiple trains to load, we're not going to have that many trains loading, but let's say we have 2 platforms to start with, and we bring them out in this direction. We'll have to get rid of this road, which is a shame. We'll put that back. So we come along this way. It's the right direction, driving on the left. I drive on the left, so my train's driving on the left. So if they're coming on the left on this side, yes, they're coming out on the left on that side. So that's what we're looking at. Should we... Right, so we want to pattern with 3, 1 track. Boom. Okay, let's put that in there. Let's get rid of the other one, because I'm making a decision here. So if we join that to there, trains can come in there, trains can jump over there, get rid of that, get rid of all this old track, and delete that old depot. Okay. Trains coming in to the station. And then on the other side we have trains coming out. I can change it like that, that's okay. That little wheel doesn't cost anything in terms of performance. So that's I'm happy with. It's to pop out stickers on the end of the platforms so that our trains can come in and share that station. I'm going to put here just 1 depot, because we're going to have trains coming in, trains coming out. But we never, at this stage, we're not going to have enough traffic coming through to warrant multiple servicing. So we don't need to, allow 1 train in whilst 1 train comes out. I don't think that's going to be an important factor. So we'll leave that as it is, and then they fill up with steel, hopefully quickly. This is the thing, how long will they have to wait? I'm looking at a loading time of 45 days. So it might be that our steel trains are actually feeling a bit tired by the time that they come off the station. They might need to be serviced. So let's pop in. Where should we put it? Let's pop it in before we pick up speed. So let's pop it in here. And again, we're not going to have multiple trains coming out of here, so we don't need 2 depots to allow the trains to come out of here. So before they come in, they're unloaded. We will service them. They'll be fresh. They can sit and wait and load for 45 days. Now that's assuming that all of this iron ore is coming in here regularly enough for this to be producing that much steel regularly enough. We've got our trains coming in, coming out, and they're on their way. Nice. So, and then we're traveling 50 spaces, 50 tiles. And that brings us all the way from there to here, more or less. So I think our first servicing point should be at this point here. So let's put that in. It's a shame because we're going on a diagonal, we have to bring it around, and it's a little bit of a further journey in. But let's leave it like that. Okay. And then we want to go 50 tiles-ish from there. Oops, not too far. 50 tiles, so bring us to around here, around where we had it. So that's fortunate. Let's just do that. Okay, bring it across, bring it across, and oops, do that, bring it down. I need to check. Are there any trains in there? No. Okay, cool. Can we keep that? I'm afraid not. So there's a depot. Zoom out a little bit, and let's see what the next stop's going to be at. So 50-ish is to here. So we're going to across and down. Get rid of that, and there we go. So the next one is going to be at 30 plus 20. Okay, so 20 is going to be before this tunnel. So I think, since we've got this one here, why don't we stick around this area here and pop in over there. That's just a nice symmetry. It doesn't really matter. This one we can probably get rid of. No one's in there, so that's good. Okay, get rid of that track. Let's come back and sort this stuff out. Is anything in there? Nope, good. Okay, cool. Right, making a right old mess, but I think it's going to be worth it. I hope it's going to be worth it. So we go from there and we go 50 steps, so it's around here. Okay. And we go from here, and that's going to go into here. I don't want to have another service before we go into this station, so I'm not going to do that. We will do a service soon after we leave the station, because that's 40, that's 50. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to put another platform in. Now, our farm having just seen that train there, our farm trains are, what is it, 1, 2, 3.5 length long. Are they all 3.5 length long? Yeah, the most of them are. And they're going to be contributing towards the production of goods in the factory. But they're not really contributing to the profit of the company, I don't think. And because they're longer, they're going to be running slower on our track compared to, like, if we have this symmetry of trains coming out of here are 3 length, trains coming into here are 3 length, then we can use this network here, these two train tracks, we can use them as a network of trains that are running a similar pace, although, albeit, we're going to have some trains going out, some trains coming in. The unloading trains are going to travel faster than the loaded ones. I'm not so sure whether we're going to keep this track or not. They maintain this service of farm goods at this stage. Farm goods are not very profitable. The farm itself doesn't produce a lot of commodities. So if we do go down that route, we might have to do something a bit more special than what we've got at the moment. A bit more specialized, I should say. So I'm thinking for now that we maybe knock this on the head, get rid of that track, and concentrate on the steel and the goods that are just going to be traveling up and down this track. We'll come to that. But yeah, the reason I was thinking about that is how long a platform do we need here at the Hull Beach factory? Because we've only got 3 length trains, we only need 3 length platforms. If we've got longer trains, we need longer platforms. I'll stick with 5. I'll stick with 5. Just to have this option. Oops, need more cash. To have the option of maintaining these trains if we want it. I don't know that we do. And again, to avoid waiting trains, I think this is a good candidate here, actually, for a better candidate than at the steel mill, for having a row. So we'll bring the trains out and around. If we travel in this direction, yeah, we can come around the factory and bring it down to here. If we bring it down to there, we can get rid of this track, get rid of this depot, and feed in directly from there to there. So our trains will come running down this track, jump into the station, and continue on their way. And because they need to, we're going to service shortly afterwards, because we might have a fairly high number of trains on this route. I'll bung them into here as well. It might be for the pickup of goods, we might want to run a separate station. So we can have a drop-off station here. We could have a pickup station in the vicinity. I mean, the catchment area is going to allow it, so that would be absolutely fine. You know, we could have a platform length of 3, maybe 2 tracks. Yeah, we can just about reach the factory if we're, well, I mean, you know, supplies goods. Yeah. So from there we can't do it. From there we can do it. So I think we've got the space. I think all's going to be good. Anyway, so what am I talking about? So we drop off and then we're on a return journey and we want to start to put in our depots. To make things easier, it's not. I mean, we have to travel a little bit further, but I think just to make things easier, I'll make this symmetrical so that we have depots either side. If I can. Okay. Okay, pull that in there. Yes. I fear that we're going to be waiting in that depot. There's mountain trains in some of these. Oh, I know, I can see there's one there. So he's coming that way, he's switched tracks. I'm just going to delete those tracks. Can I delete that track? Or is it going to say, there's a train here? Yeah. Okay, so that's that. That needs to go. Let's see. That's okay. Let's run up here. Okay, so everything else. So if we keep the symmetry, then we're going to be good. Run this up here. Oh, more money. Run this up here. Okay, get to this point. Let's just make this symmetrical. That and that one and that one. Okay, cool. Plot that in there. Bring this up. More money. Are we gonna make it? Oh dear. As I said before, I'm gonna go gung ho. So we don't run out of cash. Okay, oh. Okay. Because as we build this as well, we need to start to modify these trains and possibly build one tool. Okay, we've reached something there. Everything else is happy here, isn't it? So we can get rid of those. Build this out here. Is this the best place? I don't know. It's a bit odd doing it on event. Now you, I definitely need you. Can I build the track there? Yeah, can I get this track? Yeah, can I get these signals? Good. Let's get those signals. Good. Okay, I'll plop those in. I'm going to do it now. So we have our modified circuit track in place. We have new depots spaced 50 spaces apart. We have 2 tracks which are going to go one way and then the other. We have this one train here which I need to deal with. Let's just see. Okay, we have 2 trains. We have train 7 coming out. We have train 4 sitting in. That's okay. Can wait for those guys. We've got this train who's on his way back. We need to get him to go to a depot so that we can take off his extraneous carriages. Which depot is going to be best to do that at? Should I keep hold of the carriages or should I just sell them? Because yeah, I can either take them off and put them onto a new train, or take them off and sell them and buy new ones. I don't know. We have these trains here. Now this is an interesting junction because we're just cutting straight across the track. We haven't got any signals in at the moment, so let's pop some signals in. What spacing do we want? We can have 20 spacers. We've got 50 gaps between these depots. We've got trains that are length 3. So we could have 17, well no, we could have 16 trains sat between depots, but we're not going to have 16 trains sat between depots. We're going to have the maximum number of trains that we're going to be loading and shipping per period of time, which is going to be in the order of about, at this stage, 16 trains. So across the whole track we're going to have 16 trains, not across each segment of track. And in terms of segments of track, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 segments of track for a maximum of 16 trains. So we're looking at 3 trains per segment. Segment's 50 divided by 3, so we can have our signals spaced 16 apart. Let's go for 15 apart, and then it might fit better in that space. I'm not sure. I hope that reasoning makes sense. So in terms of like the maximum possible number of trains that we might have in this area, it might be whatever I said, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we could have 4 trains sat in this segment here, and they're not going to interfere much with each other, depending on who's the fastest out of the lot. They might catch up with each other, and they might have to wait a little bit longer. I don't want to spend too much on signals at this moment, because obviously the signals have an upkeep cost, and however much it may or may not cost. Let's check. So infrastructure, I should have done that at the start, because we just bought a heck of a lot more railway. So we're looking at 19,000 a year for our railway. We're currently looking at £300 per year for our signals, but we don't have that many signals. I'm not going to sell those just to show that. So let's plop in these. Okay, so that went up from 300 to 336. So is it £36 per signal? So this is going to come out as 372 once I put this one in. Oh no, even more. 456. 492. Okay. So it's costly. It has a cost at least. All these signals. Do I need that signal there? I don't know that I do. Yeah, okay, that'll be fine. Okay. So worst case scenario, our train's going to wait here before they get into the station. Given that there is this much space here, I think we could actually let them trundle on a little bit more. Hopefully, we're not going to get that much backup. Hopefully. I don't know. And then coming out of here, we're going to... If we're keeping this line, think we'll probably want to have a signal here. And then it's just a case of, yeah, maybe just leave it like that. Once we've got rid of these trains out of the way, we can connect this up, and that's going to be fine. We've got a signal here. I don't know if that's the right type of signal. I'm going to remove that. Make sure it's a one-way signal, because before we didn't have one-ways, and those aren't one-ways. Let's put a signal in there. Let's send all those down. Let's go up to here. Let's put a signal here. Send those down that way. Looking good. Let's keep signals out here and travel up and down and up and then and down. Okay. Not bring the signals all the way up to the depots. I could only bring it up one more space anyway on the line to be closer to there. So I'll make some difference. Signal here for that guy. These run all the way down here. That's looking good. And signal here. They run all the way down to there, and that's looking fine. Okay, so we've got our full-on system in place. We're spending some more pounds. Oh, wait, whoa! I was not keeping a track of that. I'm going to have to check that out in the editing. What? We went from 300 to nearly £3,000 a year for our signals. That's how much they cost. That's yeah. Okay, that's interesting. It's definitely affordable. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's interesting how much it ramps up, how quickly it ramps up, just from adding in a few signals. So I think making changes to these signals as time goes on, when we need trains to be able to travel over different distances. I don't know. I mean, if we have longer trains, then we have fewer signals. If we have shorter trains, we have more signals. If we have faster trains, we have more signals, etc. We've done all of this and not let a single day pass in the game. Are we happy with this junction here? Just looking at these trains, because I've got the track reservation turned on, so I can see that this train has actually reserved all of this line down here, and he doesn't need to. I'm going to pop in a signal here just to allow for that to be freed up. I'm going to have to pop in a signal here for trains coming this direction. That's okay for these guys. That's okay for those guys. We need signals here, and oops, they're not going to travel down to there because this guy's waiting here. Let's just take that out just so that I can pop these signals in. Oops, there we go, and drop that. Oops, drop that down there. Let's let this game run on a little bit. Let's let these trains come out of this station. Let's tidy that up, and then I think we're pretty much there. Hopefully. Let's see. Okay, you come out. Off you go. You don't need to stop there, but you're going to anyway. That's my fault. Right, he comes out. He goes out. Who is he? He's going off to the farm. Okay, we're all good here. We can get rid of this. Get rid of that. Good. There were just two trains waiting in there. We saw this. We could possibly have another signal here, but I don't know. That's fine. That's fine. I think we were going for 15, 16 apart, so that's okay. Okay, this guy's going faster than that guy, but that's okay. He made it past here. He got it up to there, so that's okay. I think we're correct with those signals. Got trains loading there. That's all fine. Oh, okay, pause. Right, let's get rid of that screen. So, this guy, oh no. Okay, we caused a problem for this guy. So he wanted to come south because he was already loaded with steel. He's going to go into there, he's going to come through the station. He can't pick up any more steel because he's full. There's 106 tons of steel waiting, so we need to get that done and out of the way. So let's borrow some more money because we haven't got enough money. Let's get a new train on the go. Kirby Paul. Buy it. Then we want steel. So we want to have up to a length of 3. We need some more cash. Done. Okay. So our new train has a capacity of 100 tons. Is that what I was expecting? That wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a capacity of 150 tons. So why is that? I don't know, because they're 20 tons each. Let's just check. 20 tons of steel. 30 tons of wood. Ah. Slight problem. I was working off a different tonnage. Does that make any difference to my figures? 20 tons? No, we have a distance of 1. We have 2, we have 3. Just one moment. Let's calculate this out. There's 100 tons. Okay. I think we're still doing fine. Oh yes, okay. Yeah, my calculation is based off the profit that we're making, the income that we're making. So let's revise these figures, and let's say our capacity for wagon is 20 tons, which must mean that if we go full steel, which actually tells you, yeah, so our fully laden is 36 tons, not 46 tons. Which will make that quite a few things, really. How about the location? Let's just get this location. Okay, I think we are the location to the right location. That's a bit of a shame, because actually, what I'm looking at here is a much lower level of income than what we're expecting. That's okay. I mean, in terms of percentages and all the rest of it, it doesn't matter if we're looking at something that was 10 or 5. You know, everything that's so far is still valid, I hope. Otherwise, it's all going to waste time and money and effort. Let's see. If I just plop these numbers in, we will get our answer. 21,800. If you'd like to see me plop more numbers in, leave me a comment and let me know. Ooh, wait, what? Let's check on that. 5. Okay, so that's interesting. So I put these numbers in, and the train length of 5 makes the most income, 21,800. It doesn't make the most profit. The train length of 3 makes the most profit. The train length of 5 makes 71% income, 71% of the profit. Train length of 3 makes the most profit, as I've said. Train length of 2 would be 96% profit. Train length of 4 would be 83% of the profit. A train length of 6 would be 45% of the profit of a train length of 3. That's crazy. A train length of 1 is also half the profit. And indeed, the income, according to my calculator, of a train length 6 is somewhere in the order of 19,000. It would be less than that. But if that's the raw number that we're looking at, and the train length 5 is 22,000, so going from adding that extra length diminishes the income return quite dramatically, which is interesting. But anyway, so it's still showing that our train length 3 trains are going to make the most profit. I think that we're going to be looking at running a few less trains than we were expecting, but that's okay. All the rest of it is absolutely fine. So that's all good. So after that sideline, let's get our train into the station fully loaded. Let's get him. In fact, let's clone the orders of this train. There we go. So full load and unload. Make him go. And we can watch him go. We can watch this guy go. Everything else should be fine now. We still have our trucks coming in and out of this. I've not had any thoughts about these trucks. I just think that they're doing the job that they need to do, which is to bring the iron ore out and into the steel mill. Whether they're doing that, I mean, they must be doing it in the most efficient way that we can. We've got trucks waiting to load. We've got trucks arriving and leaving. They're not the fastest things in the world. What's going on here? Oh, he came in and he loaded up and then he's going in. Okay, fine. So he was out first, then this guy's out. We could possibly put in another signal there to allow this guy to leave. Could we? Not sure. Anyway, that's okay. He's going to be on his way. This was a slight hiccup because of that one train that was stuck. Let's get another train on the go, another shorty. Off you go. So, what's the next move? We've got these longer trains that are going to be coming into this station. They're a way off yet because we only had that first one that was just leaving the factory before. Where is he now? He's not there. He might be in this tunnel. I didn't see him on the way down. Oh no, here he is. He's on his way up. Okay. So this guy we need to keep an eye on. Lock. So that's pinned in there. So we can make a choice. as to what we do with his carriages. It's just whether we sell them or we reuse them. Let's reuse them. Let's be environmentally friendly on this matter. Let's not just sell our wagons willy-nilly. Oops. Let's recycle. Okay. Which means that he wants to come into here, and then I will make him stop. In fact, I'm going to forget that, so let's make him just go to here and stop. Okay. That means all those trains are going to do that, but that's okay. If we remember that much, we will be absolutely fine. Okay, so he's going to start to load up. I don't want to nanny this too much, because we need to get moving on the other service that's coming out of Hull Beach for the goods. Okay, but let's get another train on the go. Let's move with that train. Go, go, go. Okay, how are we doing for money? We're okay. We've got 10 grand. Those big trains that we had that were on the way. I mean, this is the first of those big trains. He's going to reach wherever he's going. I mean, he might be a bit of a pain to these other trains because obviously he's slower. He's going to need to service more often than those smaller trains. Trains out. Look, see, he's broken down there. I mean, that was probably unfortunate. I don't know. Let's say it was. I think I was perhaps a bit pessimistic with the distance between the depots. I'm definitely still pessimistic now with these shorter trains, but it's looking better, I suspect. And my reasoning is obviously that a train that's stopped on track that needs to service is going to take a lot longer to recover than a train that just goes into a depot to service. I appreciate all of the reasoning. This is why you wouldn't want to try to have your train stopping on the track, on the main line to service, but that's where we're at. Okay, so he's still making his way up. We've got this guy loading. Can I put an extra viewport onto here? Oops, there wouldn't be any point because he's now on his way. Let's clone the train. Not enough cash. Pause. We definitely want that. Let's just double check where this guy is at. He's still a way off. This is him. He's still a way off yet. So let's borrow some more money. I think it's a 25. Let's see. Can we afford it? Yes, we can. Okay, get that going. Get it loaded. Let's get the trains out and into the station, loading as quickly as possible. We're looking at 127 tons of steel produced in the previous month. That's all going to be related to how many trucks we can get coming into the steel mill. Fingers crossed we'll be doing okay. We're £4,000 at the moment. So did we start? We started in January this year, didn't we? So yeah. So last year we were making some good money off our trains. The road vehicles were doing a good. Wait, no, that's running costs. They were doing a good service as well. Things were looking good from our tiny baby steps. Okay, so he's about to turn the corner. I can see that now. So he's nearly home. So it's just whether we need to buy another train just to keep servicing the station, make sure that that's performing as best it can before we actually send these on their way. Now, I was looking at potentially, in terms of a single direction, 8 trains, and we've got 8 trains on the route now. Do we need any more? Do I need to wait for this guy? Let's get rid of his window because he's very close now. He's very close. I could stretch, I think, to one more train now. Whatever happens, we've got 2 platforms. So this train, if it's going to come in and be a little bit later than the train that we buy now, there's going to be a shorter gap here. It might be a little bit of a waste, but let's do it. Let's see how we get on. Oops. Okay. Yeah, it's just a case of So these trains take a certain amount of time to load because of the produced steel. They also take a certain amount of time to get out and away and down to the factory, and then they take a time to come on their way, on their return journey as well. So in terms of the number of trains that we want to have running, oh, he's broken down. I didn't need that viewport in the end, I don't think. I might need to come back to it. Whether we have 8 or 16, I can't remember the maths now as to whether we have to double it or possibly extend even further or have fewer. I just don't know. Okay, so that's train length 1, train length 2. Whoa, I told you to stop. I'm pretty sure that was in your command. Oh, wait. I added that before you'd already decided that you were going to go to the steel mill, didn't I? Can I turn you around? Ooh, I can. There you go. Realism. Oh, and that's now filled up, and that's ready to go. That's okay. Right. He stopped. Okay, so train length 1, train length 2, train length 3. Let's sell those. And send him on his way. Should have looped back around to this. Yep, gone to there. Okay, he's good to go. Okay, unpause. He comes out. He's ready to load. All's good. I don't know, because I was reading about this, but it says something about in terms of the station rating. Now I don't know whether that applies to steel mills, because the steel mills produce their stuff based on how much is brought in. I don't know whether that impacts on how much is actually loaded onto the trains or not. But in terms of the vehicle speed, is it the vehicle speed as it goes into the station, or is it the vehicle speed that it's able to achieve, which impacts on the ratings of the station? Because if it's the speed that they go into the station, then that's going to be running quite slow. So we have another train now coming on the return journey, which is looking good. So this is looking good in terms of distribution of trains. I think we're happy-ish. This train's going to fill up before this train makes it again, as we found with that other train. But then we also had that mistake there. So that's okay. Roll that around, because that was also on its way before we did that. Let's clone that train. Let's send it out. I might be over-egging it here, but let's find out. We can always sell the trains on again if we find that we've actually got too many on the go. Once all said and done. I mean, eventually they'll reach an equilibrium, but at the moment we need to make sure that we just keep taking the steel so that we can sell it and we can make a profit. Where's the next train on the return journey? It's currently here, unless there's some stuck in some depots along the way, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, right, okay, a train stopped. Stop. Right, 1, 2, 3. Sell those. Make it go. I could actually stay in the depot whilst we wait for this train to load, but never mind. Never mind. As soon as it comes out of there, it's going to go into the service station. It's going to do its stuff. It's going to be happy. Okay. Now we're making more money so far this year on our trains, but that includes the loaded steel trains that we had from last year that hadn't made it to be delivered yet. So it's yet to be seen whether this is actually going to be a good move or not. But the figures that I have seem to suggest that it will be. Let's find out. Okay, when do I have to stop babysitting this? I don't want to be sat here just watching these trains. And if I don't watch these trains, then something bad's going to happen, I know it. We've got some good production here now at the factory. I'm pleased with that, and I think this is going to continue. I think this is going to be fairly regular. I hope it is, at least, anyway. We did have a breakdown there, but that's okay. So he's going to wait a little bit just while this guy gets into there. Oh, that's quite a long train, but that's okay. We'll let him head up home before we strip off his extra carriages. These guys are doing good. Let's see how this intersection works. That's okay. He's going to have to wait a little bit. Maybe I'll put in a signal here just to help that along. Okay, he's waiting there anyway. But as soon as he passes this signal, this guy will then be free to go. That might just improve the throughput around this junction. If a train were to stop here, it would block the whole thing, but that's not going to happen at this stage because we don't have enough trains running down it. But it's worthwhile not forgetting about that. So the other thing that I want to do is to build the to get goods going into here. Now, at the moment, we have our train station here. It's fine for loading. I don't think we could have unloading here as well. I don't think it's going to cope. Okay, so far this year we're looking good. We're looking solid. £270,000 of train income. Road vehicle income is exactly the same, more or less, as last year, so that's fine. Although accounting for inflation, it should probably be higher. So the fact that it's lower does lead me to question why. Let's just hit pause for a second whilst we think about this. We've had a train stop there whilst it gets the trucks unloaded. Get rid of those. Oh, I was going to reuse these, wasn't I? I wasn't going to sell them on. I was going to use them to buy new trains. Ah, what an idiot. What an idiot. What a waste of time that whole thing was. How many of these trains do we have anymore? Is that the last one? Let's just check. We have one more on the way. Okay. So that will pay for another train when he comes in. Let's just keep these ones in this depot. We can reuse those at least. We tried to make an effort. We tried to be green about it, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end, did it? So, yeah, okay. Why are these road vehicles not making as much money? Is it that the production here is low? I think that's fine. I think that was how it was before. Maybe there was some fluctuation. I don't know. I mean, it's more or less the same, so it's fine. Property maintenance has more than doubled. That's to be expected. That's because of all the extra expansion that we made. We spent a lot of money on new vehicles. That's okay. We spent more money running our trains. That's okay. We've got 100,000 in the bank. We're going to spend that on the next segment, I suspect. We could repay some loan. Should we do that now just to keep our loan interest down? Okay, because I'm sure we're going to make some more money soon. We've got a train here ready to load in. We've got a train here ready to go. We're looking fine, I think. Okay, unpause. One train leaves. One train arrives. We've got some trucks. Do we need another train? Probably. He's on his way back. Ah, okay, so that's down to the last one. Ah, okay. Wait, no, it can't be. What? We did have one more long train, didn't we? Yeah, where is he? Okay, so the faster train has managed to overtake him. Oh, I can't actually move that with your viewport. Faster trains have managed to overtake him. Ah, okay. Okay, it must have happened in the depot. They must have swapped places. That's okay. That's okay. It just means that we will have to keep an eye for trains stopping in here that don't need to, because I made them forcibly stop into that depot so they could take their wagons off so I can reuse them, which I never did. I just sold them anyway. Silly. Silly boy. Right. That's all fine. That's all fine. It takes a lot of effort to think about all these things. Right. So, I know that Scunthorpe takes goods. I checked that out before. But it looks like it takes goods in there. And nowhere outside of there. So to get the goods in, we're going to have to build a truck stop in the middle. Which is fine. But it means that we need to have, because we're going to bring the goods on train nearby, and then we're going to have to unload them and send them in. Which I think is going to be okay. Okay, let's unpause the game. keep an eye on things as they are. I don't know where to start really. Not enough cash. Oh yeah. I repaid my loan because I'm an idiot. Got some cash now. Okay, and I'm just putting right what I made wrong, so that's okay. So I think in terms of what we do with the next bit is build a separate station, because why not? Platform length 3, tracks 2. Build it here and have it connected with a truck stop, whatever they're called, lorry station. Oh, I built that a little bit too close. I wanted to have a row. Okay, that's fine. Do that, and then let's remove the end off there. Okay, interesting station, but anyway. And how are we going to get the trains back onto this track? I'm not sure at the moment, because they need to come around this way, head off in this direction. Oops. Is there space to tunnel under there? There's space to tunnel under here. Goodness me, this could be messy. Is there space to tunnel under there? No, not there. If I build it over this side. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so just in terms of getting these trains out. Just 2 or 1 more. Yeah. I know that doesn't matter, but I like that that nice clean line leading into there. Okay, and we can have our trains. Whoopsie doodle. Let's bring that one in there and plot that there. Okay, so we've got trains that are going to share this track. They're going to come out to here. They're going to be a length of 3, so they will fit one in there nicely. Come around to here. Oh, they're not going to be able to service because this guy is here. If we want to have a servicing depot before, I think maybe we can plot one here. I think if we're going to have multiple servicing things, now it doesn't particularly matter because these guys are dropping off. They're not picking up. Maybe I can actually forget that. Let's just ignore that. I just have them service after they've dropped off. That'll be fine. I mean, it's an extra depot. It's another depot. I mean, it's quite messy around here. I'm sure that with these smaller stations, we're going to have real messy looking areas around places where we want to do stuff. But that's just the consequence of this approach, I think. Ooh, I didn't send this guy on his way. Oh, what a mistake. Oh, goodness me. Okay, but at least, right, that's fine. Oh no, I didn't know he was there. He was one of the guys. He was one of the victims of the problem that we gave to ourselves. Okay, that's strength 3. Let him go. Let's keep an eye on that, if we ever will. Oh, we've got another train coming in, so I don't think we're going to need these as it happens. I don't know. He's going to fill up. He's going to be there. Yeah, there's more trains coming, so I think we are good. Let's sell all of those. We made a good intention to do that. Oops, right. Get rid of that order now. I'm done with that. Yeah, everything's happy. Everything's happy. I'm happy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. He's in there now. Another train's coming in. We've got trains coming out the wazoo. I hope we have trains. Trains. Okay. Turn transparency back on. Trains coming in. Trains coming out. I think we have reached the saturation point. Perhaps Yes, no, we definitely have, because we've got 2 trains in there. There's another train coming along the way, and that's all good. Okay. So now we have our drop-off station here for goods. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, yep. Messingham goods transfer. Let's not forget that, because this is a transfer station. It is not for just delivery per se. And we're going to have trains. Let's just double check this, because this bit me on the bum before. So our goods. So this has 25 crates of goods. This takes 30 crates of goods. So we will go with the flatbed wagon. Yeah, okay. And look, this is the same one that does steel, but if you choose steel, it tells you... Oh. For some reason I thought this told me about steel, but no, it's still telling me about wood. Okay, so I'm going to have to buy one of these before I actually know how many goods it's going to be carrying. And the reason I want to know that is because... So let's come down... Oh no. We need to have a loading station somewhere around here. Let's just buy one in here. We might have to sell it again. So I buy that. Oh, I don't get any information on that. I want to know how many goods it's going to take, but it won't tell me. So engines, I'm going to have to buy an engine as well, just to find out this information. What a silly situation. Okay, it does take 30 crates of goods, so that's fine. It's exactly the same as the truck said it would be. I'll keep it here. I think I'm going to build a separate station for loading goods away from this factory. We will reuse the line, but we'll have a separate station for the goods. So they're going to come down here and transfer. We're going to have 30 goods on each carriage. So we are going to have 150 on our train, 150 crates of goods. Now, then we need to ship it by road. What available vehicles do we have that will do goods? We have a flatbed truck which does wood, which is refittable to goods. Hopefully it's going to do 20 tons. And we have this which does 14 crates of goods. Same price, same running costs, same speed. Which one am I going to choose, I wonder? I think I'll go for the Talbot. Reliability is even better. So, yeah, good going there, game. Right, so I'll go with this. We're going to have 150 per train. So we're going to have 7.5. Let's call it 8 trucks per train. The trains are going to be coming in every so days. We're looking at loading time of 45 days. So the travel time from here to there in days, I don't know what that's going to be, but we're going to have some trucks anyway. Let's find out. Can I build a road from here to there? I can. Perfect. Can I build some roads around this area? Sure I can. Don't know how many I'll need at the moment. I want to allow the train. I want to allow the trucks to turn and do their good stuff like we had here, so that they can come in on a clear line, turn around, load, come out on a clear line. I might do like a U, something. I don't know what. Don't know how to describe it. So if we come down to there, come across, come back, come across. Let's start with one. Oh, Messingham local authority refused to allow me to build. Why, Messingham? You're so small. You are so small. You think I'm appalling? That's not good. How many trees are in this area? Is each one of these little grassy things a tree? I don't know. I never have them turned on in the transparency options. Where are transparency options? Ah, there they are. Trees. Okay, no, they're not. There's no trees in Messingham. No wonder they're so sad. They love trees. Okay, let's give them lots of trees. Let's be green. Let's use those carriages that we wanted. Oh, look at that. There's so few trees. We give them a few trees. They think that we're really good. I love it. Right. Excellent. Okay. Let's turn those trees off because I hate them. They're so messy. Right. Okay. Cool. Let's build our lorry station in there. Right. Good. Oh no, I didn't want one there. What? Remove that. Thank you. Okay. Now we're going to need somewhere for these lorries to service. Is this one servicing point going to be sufficient? I don't think it will be. So let's... Well, no, I think it probably will be, but I just think it's a little bit far to go to have to come back. We'll have to put in an extra road here if we were going to do that. So let's just plop this on the end of that. And then they can come out of here, go into there, go to wherever they're going here, which is a good point. We need to put that in. That takes goods. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. Excellent. Scunthorpe, a go. So we pick up our goods, go to Scunthorpe, drop off our goods, come back, service, do it again. Okay. We might need to link up this road here so that we have a return. Yep, just checking that there's roads inside the town and it wasn't some dead ends, because that would have been a pain. So we can do that. That's all good. That's all good. Train station is built. Train line already exists. Let's just pop in one more signal there. Don't know why. Let's take out that signal from there, just in case we start to get clogged up. We shouldn't get clogged up though. The train should go straight into the depot and not interfere with any of this. So that's all good. They're loading. They're potentially oversaturating. Is this that guy? Yeah, he's making his way in. That's fine. Okay, cool. Train 19 was the train that we bought to find out what number of goods we could have on each of these trains. So, last thing to do is to build the station that's going to pick up our goods. We want a platform length of 3. We want 2 platforms, I think. And we need to have a way to get in and a way to get out. Could we just route around here to get in? I think we probably could. That might not be such a bad idea as well, because then we could have use depots to service, because from here to there is 50 tiles. And because they're picking up from this point, they're going to be empty, so it doesn't matter if they take a little bit longer just to get home. Should we reuse these? Because there's not going to be that many trains at this stage that are going to be using that little segment there. I think we probably could, you know. And then we could actually bring the trains out and into here. And I don't think any other trains would want to use this station. I don't see any reason why they should. That still supplies goods. That doesn't supply goods. That still supplies goods. So let's build it there. This could be messy, but I'm not bothered. Okay, they're going to slow down when they go into the station, but I think that's going to be okay. We'll do that. Bring that down there. Bring that straight into there. I'm not bothered about the design of this station so much. The efficiencies of it are going to be limited anyway. Or inefficiencies. Signal. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's fine where it is. We'll leave it there for now. Okay. So then what I was also thinking was, oops, not there. So just to reuse this track. Now, should I do that? Probably not. I mean, that's fine. If I stick a signal here, then trains coming this way will be absolutely dandy to come through here and around and out. If there's trains backed up waiting to get into this station, then that's probably not a good idea. But at the moment, they won't be. In the future, there might be, and I'm not likely to remember. So let's forget that idea. That was a bad idea, I think. Okay, we don't need a signal there. Let's just pop a signal in the middle. Okay, we get a couple of trains in there if we need it. We shouldn't need it, but once they start to come back, they're going to be going faster than when they're going out. So that's all good. That's all good. Stick a signal there just for fun. I don't know what I'm doing. This is all good. Okay, we have the beginnings of our train here. Let's finish it off. Goods, flatbed wagon, make it up to 3. Okay. Make it load on there, make it unload at the other end here, and go home. Yeah, it can come around here. We got signals here. We don't need signals here. We could possibly have signal there. And that's all fine. Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. That will be absolutely fine and dandy. Okie dokie. Make you go. Keep an eye on you to see how you're doing. This is all doing fine. We've got a little window on the world there anyway. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's jump down here. Let's unpause the game. Now there's not a lot being produced at the moment. Okay, he's going, he's coming. That's all great. That's working really good. There might be a bit of a snarl up here with trains leaving, trains arriving, but I don't particularly care about that. I don't think there's going to be that many trains running through at this stage. We will redesign it when it comes to it. I don't know whether I need to make a point of that. This will need to be redesigned. Okay. And then I can say to myself in the future, hey, I told you so. Okay, so he's loading. Is he happy to be loading? Yes, I think he is. When this guy drops off, this will fill up with goods. I think that's how it works. That train's coming in. This train's filling up. That train's going to come out. I think we might have one too many trains here. I think. We'll see. Yes, we can't cut it down too much because we still have that farm service that's doing its stuff. There it goes. So that's delivered. That's picking up. He's not picking up. But the farm train is going to make more goods, so that's going to make more goods to be delivered. And yeah, he should be on his way after that. Well, yeah, because this is going to produce that much more because it's a longer train than this guy. So maybe that is going to be enough to fill him up. Maybe. Yes! Right. Okay, so I'll pause the game, make a new train here. I'm going to have to do some babysitting whilst we fill these trains up. Right, get the service filled up. Okay, that's good. Maybe the service actually is helping us. Well, obviously it's helping us because it's produced. I don't think it's the most profitable service that we could possibly have, but there you go. Okay, is that broken down? No, he was waiting for that guy. Because, yeah, it was just a mistiming of things, because he should be going slower than this chap. I don't know what his top speed is for the goods train. Do I have that still set up here? Yeah, okay. Train that to 3. Find exactly what his top speed is going to be. His top speed is 64 km per hour, which is exactly the same speed as his engine will allow him to go. And he gets up to that speed in 9 days. Seems a long time. Well, he's unladen it, taking 3 days to get up to that speed. So, there you go. If you're interested. Everything's broken down. As soon as he serviced, one breakdown since last service. His last service was on the 29th of August, and currently on the 2nd of September. What a brilliant service that was. I want my money back from my service, please, because my train broke down straight away. Okay, there's another goods train that's full. Whoa. Okay, we've got crazy goods waiting on the station platform. We've got to get rig on with this. Here, we have nothing waiting in the depot. We have 2 trains servicing on the platform, servicing the platform, I should say. We've got a little new train coming out. He's going to take the majority of those goods. We've got new trains coming in. They're going to be producing more goods to be sent out. Everything's looking good so far. Some slow down with these signals. Maybe I could do something to ease the flow out of this. Get those on the go a little bit quicker. But I think I'm micromanaging at this stage. But anyway, let's just bring that down to 5. Okay. It's expensive, but I think it might be worth it just to get the traction. It's hard to say. He broke down now anyway, so I was going to stop him. So, let's go for north. Never mind. The first time since last service, yep, the last service on the 13th of September, so that was a month ago, so you should have money. Oh, wait, what? There's no train in that station, and let's go to the platform. Let's go off it again. Go. Right. Train 3. Is he the... No, he's not the train. Okay, what goods train's coming in here? That's fine. I should keep an eye on this so that we can maybe see when our first goods train comes home. So at the moment we produced, well, at least in the last month we produced 305 crates of goods. That's 2 of our trains worth of goods. And he's going to fill up again now, so we need to have, he's ready to clone another train. Go down, and then go. So this train will go, that's the steel train that dropped off. Then the new train that made is going to come out, he's going to sit on there, and then these guys are going to do their stuff. And I think I can change that, so just so that train stops at the near end. So I'll make the same true for these steel trains now because they're shorter. We may as well drop off a little bit earlier. And let's see how much they are making. 22,500 each trip. Not bad. What was I expecting them to make? It was something in the order of 16,000. So they're doing better than I was anticipating. So that's pleasing. But then again, we're not that far away from where we were. We started January 1929. We're now in December 1930. So we paid out some of our loan. So we've got some money. No, not too much because we need to buy the train now because that's not his way. That's good. He's on the way. There's 47 crates of goods on the platform. There's another train coming in. There's trains loading here. They are steady, I guess. What's the production here? 130. That's more or less what we started off with, so that's not too shabby. Where's our goods trains in terms of the ones that are on the way back? I'm not particularly concerned that they're going to be far away. What was the first one we made? Maybe the easiest thing to find out, isn't it? Train 19. He's on his way. He's going up. Is he at the top? Oh, he's at the top. He's going to turn right. Very soon. And there's another thing here, so we need another train here. So we can go now. Why not? We can wait on the other platform. Let's use that second platform. We may as well. We pay for it. We're paying for it. Yeah. I don't think we need 2 platforms here for drop-off. I think that was very ambitious. I don't think it's going to cost us all that much money. I don't know. Stations tiles, it's saying 3,000 a year. We get rid of 2 station tiles. Let's see. I don't know. Did that drop it by 200 or something pounds? Let's get rid of some of this as well. So railway tracks. Oh, our train's coming in. I can see it's preserved his line. How much money is it going to make? Now, the anticipated money was 23,300, and that was for a few years from now. So I don't know. Given how far out I was with the steel train, maybe this is going to be actually higher than that, but that's what I'm expecting, 23,000. So if it makes 30, then I'm going to be super happy. If it makes 24,000, then I'm going to be, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. That's what I expected. So here it goes. Oh, wait, what? Didn't notice it. And also I forgot that it's supposed to be a transfer, and this is not just a drop-off, and that we're going to have to build some trucks to transfer this stuff. Transfer. Okay. No loading. Okay. Can I tell you to skip? I can. Oops. Skip. And can I tell you to reverse? I can. Okay. Little bit cheeky, but there we go. Right. Pause the game, because what I'm going to need to do now is buy another goods train. Get it going. Move this viewport down to here now. Oh, wait. What I should have done is click that, change main viewport, because then that would flick it into there, but that's okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That was just messing around. That's fine. Let's hop up to here. Whoa. Go away. Go away. Hop up to here, buy some new vehicles which are transporting goods, which are hang on a minute. They both carry the same. Any reason why I thought that this one was that much better? They're identical. Right, okay, fine, bye. Let's just double check. 14 crates of goods, that's fine. Okay, cool. So you're going to go to... Oh, you are linked, aren't you, still? Even though I got rid of that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Messing with goods transfer and full load. Okay. And you're going to go to Scunthorpe. Now, each train that comes in, did I say it would take 7? 7.5. So we're going to need to have 8 of these trucks at least. Have we got enough money for that? No, we haven't, but we can do. That's absolutely fine. Oh yeah, don't forget to tell it to go and service here, because if we don't, it won't. service, always go, so always go to, yeah, that's it. Because otherwise, if you tell it to service at, it will only service if it needs to service, I think. So that's all fine. Right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. We don't need to watch it, that's fine. So this train's going to be doing its transfer. Once it's done its transfer, it's going to continue on its journey home. And we need 8 of these, so we need 6 grand each. That's going to cover it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. Go. Okay, we've not got enough space here for them, but that's okay. They're going to sort themselves out. Maybe we could build another station for them, another platform each other. That's okay. And they're going to have to wait a little while before the next train comes in. Can you, I know you can do timetabling, can you timetable them to sit in the depot for a few days? Timetable. Oh, look at that. Travel not timetabled. How long until the next goods train? It's not that far off anyway, so I don't think it's going to be worth it. I think we're going to end up with like 20 trucks or something going back and forth here. It's just going to be one long conveyor belt. I think that's where we're going to end up. Let's find out. Okay, so our first truck went in and it's making 1600 per drop off. This is probably going to interfere with the figures that I had in terms of one train's worth of goods. But there we go. So that's all of those dropped off now. So let's just do a check. A quick sanity. No. I want the trucks. Okay. Quick sanity check on how much these have made. So it's about 1500 each. And there's 9 of them. So that's 13,500. So that's quite a lot less than I was anticipating from it being a simple train journey. Let's just triple check this number. Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I think I put the wrong number in there because I was actually anticipating 15,900 and I made 13,500. So that's in the ballpark. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Good. And with that extra little bit of journey, extra bit of journey time, that's bound to bring it down a little bit. It's not fantastic, but it's not the end of the world either. You know, how much do these guys make per trip? Let's see. These guys do make more money, it has to be said. But, you know, we're developing, we're building. It's all going to count to something. Okay, so this guy is nearly on his way home. These chaps are going to... Oh, they're still picking up. Ah, okay. Did I get the... Okay, there were 2-ish more pickups that they could do there. So I'm going to... I don't need to do it right now, but I'm going to do it anyway, just so I don't forget. Just to make sure that... Cancel. Okay. Maybe that would actually... So there were 2 more. If it was 11, it would be 16,500, and I was anticipating 16,000. So yeah, okay. I think we're doing okay actually. Yeah. I mean, it's not quite 11 trucks, 10.7 trucks. So 16,000 versus 16,000, which is what I was anticipating the trains to do. They're going to back up a little bit here because there's no space for them. And now that I've got rid of that extra track, I can build this out around here. I can put another... I can't put that in yet, but okay. I can put in another segment there for the lorries, so they can pick up. That's all good. Okay, just that final journey to drop off into the middle of Scunthorpe and make their 1500s each. Each one £1,500, please. Boom. Okay, close. There we're good. And these guys had to wait a little bit, so they're a little bit down, but that's okay. That's okay. I could possibly build another station somewhere else for these guys to drop off. Maybe somewhere for them to pull into or something. Don't know. Who cares? It's all going good. Oh, now is that the same train? Or is that a different one now? Okay, wait. I took my eye off this one. I took my eye off it. Clone that train. Make it go. Okay, but these are all looking good. We got so many goods here now. That's fine though. That's fine, I think. Yeah. We've got more goods coming in. We're gonna max this out soon. This is good. It's hard to know, so we won't be able to tell exactly. Well, we'll have to do it manually, but in terms of the number of trains that we've got on these tracks, it's just as to whether we need to have more signals in place so that we don't trip up over each other as we go back and forth. But I think so far we're so good. Okay, I've just seen that train's left, so let's make another train. I don't think the first train is going to be nearly on its way back yet, but we will see. Let's have a look. Just scanning down this line, looking for an empty train. Is it this one? He's number 19. Yeah, that was the first one that we got. Oh, so not only are we making whatever it was, 16,000 from the trucks dropping that off, we make 10,000 from the train doing the transfer. And now, those transfer credits, I presume you get those straight away. I don't know. It's not that it's like money owed or anything. I don't know about that. It must be. So yeah. So we're looking at 26,000 for these trains. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Another one's coming in. These are still loading up. Got another train there coming on his way out. That's all looking good. Have we got too much crates here? Do we need to have more of these trucks? Let's keep an eye on that. Let's go back to here, keep an eye on this. That's just gone. Stop. Another train, please. You go. Okay, we can repay some money. Down to loan of 150,000. So that's all good. Doing a lot of babysitting here just for a few trains and a few trucks. So this train's come in and there's more trucks still waiting at... No. I'm looking at the wrong figures here. There's still 48 here. There's 50 to be picked up. There's 48 here at the drop-off to be picked up. So let's make a couple more. What are these? 30 each? That will be plenty, won't it? I want to make sure they all get a share of the pie. We don't want to have too many. Some of this is finger in the air stuff again, but we'll reflect on it later. See whether what we're doing is profitable to the max. Okay, still have our silly farm trains that make 7,000 a journey. That's not bad, but it's not great. Okay, another one of those. Getting going. 105 crates of goods waiting to be picked up from the factory. Cool. Okay, there's a bit of a snarl up there in terms of trains that we have waiting. Train 19 on his way back. Train 23, I don't know if I care about you. Yes, I want to keep an eye on him so that you want to start building new trains for this. Because once we've got enough trains picking up here and there's a continual cycle of trains coming through, we can start starting that bit. Although having a bit of crossover as we've got here is probably not going to be a bad idea. So now we've got these trucks possibly a little bit over egging it because they're waiting for another train to come in. Did train 19 in the depot, so he's on his way still. Okay, so then we've got these guys are going to go for it and take them all away. Now, there's definitely more trucks than there are goods now because that was how we did it. How many more? There's 3 extra ones, which are those 3 extra ones I purchased. Although 2 in a bit to be fair because there's some waiting there. But now this train's going to come. No, that's a steel train. Next goods train's a while off yet. So, okay, and that's right. So this train's coming in here. We've got 34 crates of goods. I'm going to build one more goods train and then we're going to have some crossover. And fingers crossed that will be all that we need for this one looped line. We're nearly at the end of another year. We've wasted so much time on this, but I think it's been worth it. I hope it's been worth it. So that the pickup station now, it's really got lots of crates on the go. So that I think that train that we built is going to be ready to go now, and it is. So this train that we just built is coming out now as well. We can start to repay some more of our loan. Down to £100,000 for our loan because of all this good money that we're getting in now. It's all looking quite pleasing. So yeah, another steel train's coming in. I'm not seeing another goods train. Yeah, goods train come in. An empty one. There it is. An empty goods train to come in to pick up any more stuff from here. So we're going to have to build another train now. Awesome. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go. I think it's going to need to have another depot on here. Yeah, he's not going in there. Okay. We can think about that later. Also, having, instead of getting these lines all mixed up together, just because why would you? If we have this bring it around, have another depot, have another loop. I mean, even forget this whole thing doesn't need to be there. We can just have another line, separate line, loop around the back into there, and that'll be fine. Possibly bring this on a little bit further. Just get these trains up to speed, get them up to speed, let them merge in. I say merge in. Get them into the depot maybe on time together somehow. Might work well. Okay, that one's still loading. How have we done here? How's that truck doing? They're all doing fine. How much stuff have we got waiting? Nothing. That's good. That's what we want. Oh, and there's our next train ready to come through. Good, good. He's empty. Where's he going? Oh, he's dropped off steel. That's fine. Okay. So this is the next train's coming in to pick up. Are you also trains waiting to pick up, or have you just dropped off steel too? Because if you are waiting to pick up, then you are a little bit, yeah, you're a little bit early. Which means, this is a problem. This is definitely a problem because this train now is going to stop at the signal and he's going to wait. We do not want that to happen. I'm going to have to change this because what we want is any trains that are going to wait in a depot before they go onto the platform. So they could wait here. That'd be fine. Pop that in there. This train is now stuck because I took away his only route. Let's just pop that up there. Let him get into that depot. Get rid of that piece of track there. Let's put some signals in. Why not? Let it go. Okay, so he can go into there, wait in the depot. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Separated as we wanted. As soon as this guy comes in, those are going to go. Possibly too many trains on that line now, but never mind. Goods trains coming in. Trucks are going to go out, so we get our transfer of 10 grand, and then we get all of our trucks doing their thing. Excellent. Can we repay all of our loan now? Oh, there we go. No more loan. What a happy Christmas present that's going to be for next month. There we go. Trucks a go-go into Scunthorpe. And they're snarled up a little bit, but they're doing a good service. And they're just doing a U-turn at the end. Well, some of them are anyway. Or they're going into that little extra road there. That was nice of Scunthorpe to build that for trucks to turn. There we go. All's looking good. Pleased with that. Okay. That's all looking good. Everything is looking super duper good. Let's get to the end of the year, then let's pause, and then let's reflect. So we've reached the end of 1931 in terms of our money. So we have a little less train income than we had the previous year. I suspect some of that is, if the dates are right, is the longer trains that we had. The 5-length trains that we had that were taking steel from the steel mill to the factory. I think they will have up front brought in more income gross, but taking away the costs in terms of the profit, because that was what I was working off, that's less, I think. Train running costs has increased quite a bit because we've got a lot more trains now, but that's okay. And that's not even for a full year's worth of use because we didn't. New vehicles we've obviously bought, which is fine, but we now have no loan and we have 100,000 in the bank, so we're looking strong and good. Didn't spend so much on construction this year, spent quite a bit the previous year. It's a shame we can't look back another year. Road vehicle income is immensely increased because of the goods that we're transporting from here. So that's super duper. What did we expect from those goods? As a whole for the year, I was expecting a profit of 170,000. So given that our road vehicles are bringing in 270,000, that is way and above my expectation. Although 20,000 of that is the coal, so 250,000. That's good. I was being pessimistic. I should have been optimistic. Fantastic. I think that is all for now. Let's just have a quick check. Delivered cargo graph. Let's look at our units of cargo that we've delivered, because that's going to tell us whether we're performing well or not. So initially in 1926 we started to do, did we start in 1925? I'm not sure. But it's obviously been on the increase. We can see that. That's a definite trend there. And this year it's very, very good. Previous year was steady, somewhere around 990, around that mark, maybe between those two. So around 900 a month, that's fine. Maybe again the previous month, because of this dip, it was probably around the same. So our new services have definitely increased the number of units of cargo that we've delivered. That's good. Do we have anything else to look at? Our operating profit, that's up good. That's good. I'm not sure what this downturn is about, but that's fine. We can look at that in more detail some other time. Income is very similar to our operating profit. So, yeah. And performance history, that's going to be fine. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that's saying. It's the metrics of the game, isn't it? So in terms of the game, we were winning, then we were losing, then we started to bring it up again, and here we are, and we are the highest that we've ever been. So we're obviously doing something correct, which is pleasing. It's pleasing after all this time. So there we go. I'm happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. If you have, then please do like the video. If you'd like to be informed of when I make new videos, then subscribe. It's not intrusive, it's not painful, and I hope that you will enjoy the next video. Any comments and questions, then please write them down. I'd love to see them, love to hear them. Thanks for the feedback so far. It's been fantastic. Just from people that I know and stuff. That's been really good. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.